Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Day 6 of Eden Crafters. And just to confirm what we did yesterday, so we have our startup location, we have our assembly location, we've got our gold, and we went and set up a new area on the map we can show you over here. And this is an area that is going to be producing some more advanced components. Now, what we need to do today is consider what is our objective, and that in here is going to be to build a climate regulator. Now, in order to build a climate regulator, I'm going to need some items, of which to build are quite challenging. The main one being the sensory array. Thermal regulators we did yesterday. So we need sensory arrays. So in order to do that, we know that we're going to need a few different items. So the first item that we're going to need here is going to be gold wiring, or antenna, and then gold wiring. So antenna is simple. We need iron and copper. Okay. Gold wiring, we're going to need gold and rubber. So I guess the best location to do that is going to be this new one over here, because we've got the gold, the iron and the copper, and we've got the water. So we've got everything we need here to be able to build this. So we're going to go and add it onto that section. So that's going to be our first point of call. We'll do that first. We're going to be tackling one problem at a time today, because there are multiple things that we're going to need to do. And we're not going to try and get too overwhelmed worrying about all of the stuff that needs to happen. We're just going to get out there and start it. So here we go. Here's our location. And I think we're going to build in this nice expanse open area here. We'll drop this down. Okay, let's have a look at what we need. We'll go into the house to keep the oxygen up. That's nice and easy. Alright, so let's have a look. This warehouse is full, so we are actually going to need another warehouse. Let's go ahead and put another one of these down. We don't actually have any iron beams at the moment. We need to make some more iron beams. Okay, so we'll go and make a standard warehouse for now. We're not going to make a fancy tier 2 one. We'll just make a standard warehouse. And that can go, I guess, just down here. Would be a good place to put it. Maybe what I'm going to do to start with, I'm just going to put this down. Then I'm going to delete it. I'm going to put another one down there just to open up this land. I've got a steamroller now, so I could just use a steamroller, but it's just a very quick and effective way to be able to clear out that land and make everything nice and smooth for me. So we'll do that here. Good. And then we'll put that down just in this open space here. I think this is a good place for us to build. We just want to back out a little bit so that we can build it somewhere around, I would say, here. Perfect. All right, so that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're having a power issue here. Let's see if we can build, a geothermal plant. All right, what do we need for that? 10 drill bits. Well, I think for the drill bits right now, we can just build them by hand, just for now. That means we're going to have at least 650 electricity all the time, regardless. And we can get rid of all of the solar panels, and it just makes our life a lot easier. Then we can get this core loop, and what we're going to do here is we're going to look to get the first thing we're going to look to do is get the sensor arrays. We also need to get the catalytic converters. We need to get these gears and these diamond bits, so we'll look to make those as well. I think the catalytic converters, if I'm not mistaken, need phosphorus, so we're going to have to go back over to the hot zone. But let's get those sensory arrays done first. They're the most important things. All right, so looking for this item here. All right, it's a huge, huge building, so we need to put it down somewhere respectable. I think we're going to put it just here. All right, now that's built. We're actually going to be able to remove these. So let's just head out. We take down these solar panels. We just simply don't need solar panels anymore. That building, that huge building, is going to take care of everything. So we'll take these down. That's going to give us those iron beams back that we so desperately need right now. And we haven't got any power at the moment because we have to wait for this to finish building first. It's going to take ages. A very big building. It says you use crane. That's pretty cool. I didn't know we could go in a crane, but that's pretty cool. So we can watch the whole thing being built. Nice. Oh, and now we're down and that's built. And we've got 925 Yeah, being generated. Fantastic. This makes between 650 and 1200 depending where we are. So we're in a hot zone. So yeah, 925. We have more than enough power at this stage. We don't need power anymore. All right. So with that being said, what do we need? Well, let's reverse engineer this to make it what it has to be. We know we need rubber, right? Rubber's just the easiest one for us to make. So let's just go ahead and do that. That's greenhouse. Greenhouse is going to come out from the water there. And we'll bring that out here. So that's easy. So we can go ahead and just place this. We're going to need to grab one of these sections. We'll grab that from there. And we'll grab the pipe. Pipe is always a bit of a tricky one because you never know if it's connected or not. Especially in this instance where it could be... Yeah, see, we just never know if that's going to work or not. It's a little bit tricky to understand that. And what I can do if I really need to is I can just bring this down. And then I can see around it. So again, just to make that a little bit easier. There we go. We're connected in now. Doesn't really feel like it needs to be that difficult on here. So we're going to bring that to here. Straighten that down to here. And then that one nice and clean into there. That's first problem resolved. All right, we also know now that we're going to need to put on here one of these. Only one. Because that's going to go from here to here. And this is going to make rubber. All right, so rubber's now done and fixed. Perfect. All right, next issue. Next issue is going to be having an assembly machine. And that assembly machine, as we know, is going to have... I think we've already made these before, so we're actually going to come this way with this one. Yep, we're going to do that, and we're going to put that into there. So that is going to be rubber into there. And we know that we need... let's have a look. We don't actually know what we need. We need gold ingots. So we need rubber and gold ingots. Right, well, perfect. Gold ingots are here. So for that, we're just going to go for a very simple break, which we're going to put just here. All right. We'll just break that section. Connect that first. Oh. Connect that second. And then this one's going to go from here straight into there. Perfect. So that's rubber. Gold, everything there. That's being done. That's great. So now that that one's done, we're now going to need to do the second one. And let me just think, what is that second one? The second one we needed to do was antennas. That is iron and copper. Iron and copper. Well, iron rods are there. Copper is there. So that's great. So let's do this. Yep, do you know what? Let's do that from there. Now we mentioned we want copper. Copper rods, not copper plates. I believe it's copper rods. Oh, sorry, I believe it's iron rods. Let me just double check. I need to make sure. Iron rods and copper plates. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we'll delete that section there and there. Bring this in. Bring this through. And grab this to grab into here. So that's nice and easy. And then we're coming out here and making copper ingots. And then we've already got this set up because remember we did the splitter already, which is fantastic because that just makes our life so much easier. Knowing that we were kind of preparing for this already. Right, let's see. All right, we're going to come down here like so. And then from here, nice and clean around into there. Okay, so that's iron rods and copper plates now done to give us our antennas. All right, that's the first two done. And now we need a final building. And that final building is going to go somewhere around here. We're going to come out of this one and we're going to come straight round into here. And we're going to come out of there and go straight into here. So very nice. And this is going to be making our sensory arrays, of which is going to go straight into there. Done. Very clean, very nice, very easy. So this is going to be making through the rubber that's coming out, and that's going to get better in time with more water. So rubber comes through here. Rubber goes through into there. That is now making gold wiring. Gold wiring's done. Let's go and jump inside quickly because it's affecting our oxygen, or O2. This one is going to be... Oh, it's copper plates that we need. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. Almost there. Almost there. We've got one little thing, and that's the copper plate. So we need to go from here to here. This should be making copper plates. And that's what needs to be going from... Make sure we're going from the right part. From there to there. All right, we'll take the ingots out because we don't want the ingots. We actually want copper plates, which are now coming through. Excellent. There we go. Plates coming through, so that's antennas coming out. So we've got copper wire antennas. So that's now automated. So that was a big part of what we needed to do, and that's now done. So that's good. Okay. Have a quick look at the warehouse and see how that's going. All right, well, slowly, but we've got composite beams here, alloy here, plate covers, and everything else. Great. What was next on our list of things that we needed that we can do here? Gear assembly. So this needs gears and ingots. Well, all right, we can have a look at that. It's something we can work on. It's something we definitely will need. Is it really that important for us to do it at the moment, though? That's the question. Do we really want that right now? Or is that something we can look at in the future? A lot of stuff to do with iron. Iron is definitely the bottleneck for us at the moment. That's one of the biggest challenges. We do have, coming out of here actually, we do have a lot of iron, and it's actually stacked up. So we're not doing much with this. We do have that space. So let's have a look. From an iron perspective, we wanted to make these gear assemblies, right? So we need gears. We're also struggling a little bit. We've got these coming out of here into here, but we're bottlenecking from here. So it would make sense to bring this around to here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll bring a converter out. We'll bring that down to here. And we'll take this out. That can come into here. This one into here. And this one with a nice curve. Round to here. There we go. Because this is already full. Just needs a gold ingot. And the gold is one of the challenges at the moment. We haven't got enough gold coming out. So gold is 40 per minute. Can only produce 30 per minute. So we need to upgrade this. One way we can do that is put version 2 in there and split it, and we can do that. And that means gold can come in 2 different locations. So we can do that. Or I do believe, hold on, there is another, sulfur, no, okay, don't worry, sulfur. All right, well that works so far. This is now coming around to here. We need, in order to make these, we need to make gears. And so... I think the problem that we have at the moment which is the biggest challenge we have. Hold on, these aren't actually going anywhere. What's wrong with this? They're getting into that machine. Ah, that's why we... No, we do have beams. Beams are going into that machine. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say we're not making any beams, but we don't need to. We're making beams in another location. That's fine. Maybe I just bring it out this way because I need to bring it out to here. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Also, what's that? Okay, don't need that one. We need this. I think straight through there, that looks like the answer to me. I'm going to aim for around that area there. Okay. So business as usual through there. But for this side... for this side, we're going to come out to here. And along this journey here, we're going to put one of these down. And the reason for that is actually because we're going to need to go from here to here. And this is going to need to make gears. All right, so we have gears coming through here. We have this one coming through here. And this one is going to make gears going in there. And these coming in here. Beautiful. And from here... Oh, we just need to go in there. So we'll go from there to there. And from there, straight into there. Perfect. That's another problem resolved. We've got some more copper there if we absolutely need it. But to be honest, we don't. And we've also got some sulfur we're not using there either. All right. Looking good. This little advanced factory now. Actually working really nicely. There's a few things that we need to fix on it, but overall, yep, we've got a few of the bits that we needed. So, what is next on our list? Well, we know that we want, and the big thing that we want is this. We've only got 8 sensor arrays, so we're working towards these sensor arrays. That's we know we're going there. We know that's what we need. We're going to let that just chip up. That's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, and that's this machine here. So it is making them. It just needs those gold wiring, and that gold wiring. Not really much we can do about it, unfortunately. It's just a bit of a slow process. So, and that's the rubber actually that's holding us back. Nothing else, just the rubber. And that's because the water here is only on 63%. So even though we're getting there, not really much we can do unless we added this one. And this one needs the fast rotors. So let's have a look at fast rotors now, because that's going to make everything a lot quicker and easier for us. Alright, so we'll look at fast rotors. They are going to need gear assemblies, gold wiring, and graphite rods. There's a lot needed there. Now, we're making all of these components in this area. So all we need to do is we need to filter off the gear assemblies, filter off the gold wiring, and we need to look to make graphite rods. Well, I think graphite rods, if I recall rightly, was that graphite that I saw over here? What's this? I believe this is going to be graphite. Unless it's not. No, that's just normal rock. I think this was graphite, but now it's kind of lost its property, maybe? I don't know. Huh. Can I put one of these on it, though? I cannot. Huh. Interesting. So I would need some graphite. I don't know if there's anything around here. It doesn't look like there is. Or there's something over here. This is a black one over here. So maybe that. I'd have to go and have a look. Where's my ship? Ship is over here. The only other thing I can do is make those manually at the moment, but which isn't a problem. Oh yeah, look, graphite right there. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Fast rotors. Let's have a look. Maybe we don't need to automate them. We just need graphite rods. And then we can make them manually if we need to. So, all right, graphite rods. Let's do it. We need to come out of here. I'm pretty sure that's graphite, but it's just hovering in the air, which is why it's not working. All right, so graphite's coming out of here to make graphite rods. That's going to have to go in the carbon refiner. So we're going to need to make ourselves a carbon refiner. It's obviously going to need water, so let's make that down the bottom. We're going to go down the back of here. And a carbon refiner, we're going to make it just down here. All right. So for that, we'll go from here. That's fine. This is going to make us graphite rods. And that's all we need to do. So from here... Actually, do you know what? Let's not do that. Let's turn this around. Because as much as it would make more sense to go the other way, we actually want it to go in here. So that's going to go from there. And that's going to go into... We'll put it into number 2. That's fine. We need to put another pipe on here. So that's fine. We'll do that there. Yep, we're going to come down here straight up and then curving it around. And then this one is actually going to come all the way around the back. Oof, this is huge. Up to there. Okay, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. We're going to have to come along the back. Yeah, we're going to break it up that way, and then that's going to have to come to there. That's going to have to turn up this way, obviously. So we'll put that down there. Then we'll go up as far as we can, up that way. That's a lot of plates it's going to use, by the way. All right, let's get back in our ship. We're almost there. And we're going to go from there. Come up as straight as we can to, I guess, this point. And then from there. Beautiful. So graphite now coming down. Graphine's going to come all the way down there. That's a long old conveyor belt. But that will come into there. That's going to make rods. And now we've got rods as well. Cool. So even though we have to make these by hand, we are going to be able to make them. So that's the main thing. And if we don't want to wait, because it's just going to take too long to get them, what we can do is we can check out that advanced miner. We can take out all the graphite so it's all out. And just to speed up the process, we can just chuck all of this into here. Graphite rods, please. So we've got the water, we've got that. That's going to make graphite rods for us. They're going to come out and go into there. Happy days. Another problem solved. And now, yes, that is going to give us the ability to level up that design. We're going to just come through here and eat some food. Jump inside. And all we're doing now is we're just waiting for these to come into here, into the warehouse. We've got some already, graphite rods. And we're going to upgrade. So now we can make these fast motors, but we're going to make these by hand. We're not going to waste our time automating that procedure. All right, so fast motors, let's do them. Should be able to find this assembly bench. Fast rotors, there they are. We need to make more gear assemblies as well. We only seem to have 4 gear assemblies at the moment, so I'm pretty sure we were making those. We are, but we're waiting on gears. And gears aren't coming through. And that's because we're... Whoops. Alright, we'll take that whole section out there and there. Because we did just make another mistake. It's okay. That's what the whole purpose of this is for, is finding these mistakes. So we're going to come through to here. And this is going to make iron rods. And then we're going to put that through to here. Because iron rods are now going to come in here and make these. Perfect. Good. And we're going to take those out because they don't work. So we'll just fill that up in there with these. Because that will help us make these quicker. Good. Alright, 120 rods a minute. Lovely. Although it's only going to make 60 a minute coming down here, which is a shame. Iron rods into gears. Gears are going to come into here. And then that is going to make... I wonder if I can move that over. Probably doesn't matter. Cool. Alright. So we will have more gear assemblies as well. We're up to 13 or 14 sensory arrays now. So these are starting to push through faster. The bottleneck right now is gold wiring. So we know we're having a bottleneck on gold wiring. That's down to this. We're going to fix that when we put more water through. We're going to put more water through once we get these working, which we've just fixed. So everything is on its way. Gears are now pumping through nicely. Gear assemblies are coming out. So now we should be able to make those fast motors that we needed. Let's go to our assembly bench. We're going to make another assembly bench. So I think for that we just put it there. And then that one can be destroyed. Good. All right. Fast rotors. Well, we're going to need, I think it said 4 of those. Let's just double check. Yep, 4 fast rotors. But we've got graphite rods now. We've got gold wiring now. And the gear assemblies will start coming through. It looks like they're rolling off the line now. So we should be good to go. Again, we're going to make these by hand for now. We're not going to automate this. Later on we might, but for now, we're fine. We don't actually need that many. I just need to make 4 here, and then that should resolve all my water issues. And that should speed up that entire production line. So now we're looking for less automation and more efficiency. We also need to check, are we making ceramics? Yep, we've got ceramics and a ruby. That's all sorted. We've got phosphorus. We need to make advanced filters. So we're going to go and make advanced filters next. That will help us with the catalytic converters, but we're going to have to go over to the hotspot to make that. Otherwise, we've automated. We're not going to automate joysticks in a moment. I just don't think we need to. We've automated gold wiring. We've done plated connectors, I think. Or maybe we haven't done those. I can't remember. I think we might have. We've done sensor arrays now. That's done. We haven't done any of these, but I don't think we need to at the moment. But we've got items for them, so that's fine. Haven't done these, but we don't need to at the moment. This is done. This is done. That is done. We've got to do this one now. So, again, them crafting parts, not even in the advanced crafting parts at the moment. We just need to do these. So, all right, let's go. Make those fast rotors. That's going to be 4 of them. All right, let's go. What is this going to give us? This is going to give us 600 production. So from 100 to 600. All right, let's go. In order to do this, we're going to remove this one. And in its place, we're going to put down this beast. we shall remove that and instead put that in. There we go. So now we're providing 100%. This one alone is providing all of the water that we need. So I can actually get rid of this one now. I don't need it. Oh, actually, no. I'm only making 94%. So there you go. So I do need 2 of them. Or, as in this case, these. All right. So we're making 596 out of 550 that we need. So there we go. So this is now going to be pumping out at 100%, which it's doing, which is great. So that's constant, which is going to speed up this process, which is great. Now this is coming out at 60 per minute, so that's fine. And nothing else I can do there. It's also going to produce this faster, which is good because we're missing gold ingots. So gold ingots, how can we speed up the gold? Well, we can get an advanced miner 2 on here. We can even do an advanced miner 3. So advanced miner 3 is going to need reinforced frames, laser emitters, diamond drills, and AI chips. All right. Let's have a look at whether we can do this. I'm not saying we're going to, but let's see whether we can. Yes, we can do that part. But no, we don't have access to the other parts just yet. Okay, so let's do a level 2. That is going to need 1 drill bit. Well, that's easy. We can make that. Hydraulic pistons. We need 6 of those. Well, we can. That's easy. We can do that. We're just going to upgrade because we're going to be farming more gold. Not much more, but we're going to be farming more gold with a version 2 than a version 1, and that's a bottleneck for us at the moment. So the best way to figure this out is if we type in gold and we have a look at gold ore, we're making 10, 40, but this is going to take us up to 120. So we're going to triple our output. Triple our output of gold. Triple it. All right, and that's 240. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to remove this, and we're going to use a version 2 on here. Why is that not letting us? Maybe we're too far away. Sometimes this is funny and it needs to be closer. So let's just see if we can make this work. Yep, it does work. That's fine. We just need to get it into the right place. Looks like it's going to be there. Right, so this is 120 now, which means we're going to have to move this into a splitter. Because remember, the problem with this is this was just not going fast enough, right? So we'll take the splitter and we'll come out of here and we're going to go from here at 120 into there. All right. So we'll remove this for now. And what we're going to do, in fact, we don't need to remove this. That's actually fine. We can come out of here into that one. We can also come out of here into this one for now. Oh, no, that's an output, isn't it? That's fine. So we only actually need... Not to do that, sorry. Ah! Let's just delete that for a sec. 1 second. Okay, so we need to come into one of these. So this is a forge. And the thing with a forge is we need to have one here and one here. Now these only need to be 60 each, so that's fine. But then we need to merge them again, right? So now we've done the split. We're bringing them together, and then we've got a splitter, and then we've got the merger. So then we bring them into the merger here. And that's going to come in at 60 into here. And that's going to come 60 into here. But it's going to need to come 120 out of there. Perfect. And then that's going to split 60 and 60. So now, look at that. We have a much, much more efficient gold production happening. And that's exactly how that needs to be set up to make it efficient. That's going to come out here. But that looks like it's not... Oh, it is working. So this is actually full, which means great. If this is full, which it is, because there's another bottleneck, then it's going to come along here. So we need to be able to remove this, because we need to understand that this could potentially be 120 if this is full, which it is. So now we need to be able to keep pushing down at 120 rather than a 60-60 split. Now, that's going to be a lot more gold coming through. This is going to split 60-60. That's fine. So hopefully we'll start seeing gold come in a lot quicker. And hopefully that's just fixed one of the bottlenecks. All right, now we need to just think about what's going to be next. So here, it looks like rubber is a bottleneck. Well, why? Why is rubber a bottleneck? We're making 60 per minute. Okay, 60 per minute is great. What are we doing here? We've got 100%. Just doesn't feel like that's coming out quick enough. So this is producing 60 a minute. So 60 a minute come out, producing 60 a minute. So it's there, just yeah, not really producing quick enough for us. We could fix that by putting out another greenhouse on the other side or next to it. Merging them both into one, or having two of these, because this just isn't getting enough rubber quick enough. That's the problem with this. This is it's just not making enough gold wiring. It's struggling, which means this is struggling. Which isn't a problem because it's just those sensory arrays, but we really want those sensory arrays to come through as quick as possible. We're at 22 out of 40 at the moment, so yeah, I think we're going to need another greenhouse here. I think that's the only answer we've got to this. So we can grab this pipe. Now we can actually jump from here. It's not going to be ideal, but we can do that. That should be 99%. Do you know what? I'm actually happy with 99%. It's good enough for me. So that's good. We want this to jump into another one of these. So I guess the best way to do this is going to be from here. I don't actually know the best way to do this, so I think we go from here. I think we remove this one. I think this one goes from here also. I think this comes around to here. Bit of a tight corner, but if we can fit it in, that would be great. And this one just comes straight in there. That's fine, that works. And then we need a merger, like we have here. So 60 plus 60. We get rid of this one, because now that is going to be pushing into here at 120. I hope. Alright, that should sort out that rubber issue. So we've got rubber there, we've got rubber there. So making 60 and 60 a minute, that should be pushing out rubber a lot quicker. Alright, that's fixed that issue. Now we can see the rubber flying. That's going to get those sensor arrays done a lot quicker. Alright, cool. So again, just working on efficiency for this first build. And if this is your first map, it's absolutely fine to do it like this. We're good here. So we're at 99%, we're all good. This now flying through, it's going to produce these a lot quicker. We're doing 45 of these a minute now, which is good. And that means we're going to be doing more of these as well. Great. All right, I think that is as efficient as we can actually make this. Everything seems to be working really well. That's flowing great. That's actually a lot better now, which means this is going to be... Yeah, see, this is all working a lot better now. These are filling up. Oh, yeah, we are making plated connectors. Yep, we've got these. We've got composite beams. Great. So what is next on our list? I know there was something we mentioned with phosphorus. I can't remember what it was we were making with that. Let's have a look and see. What are we not yet automating? I have forgotten. Let me have a quick look inside the assembly bench. Oh, that was it. Catalytic converters are next. Right, we want to make catalytic converters. To do that, we're going to need quite a lot of stuff, actually. All right, this is actually going to be really difficult. It seems easy because it's phosphorus and advanced filters, right? Well, advanced filters. Actually, maybe we should manually make these for now. Maybe for now we should manually make these. We need to make advanced filters. All right, let's look at advanced filters. I can't remember where they are. Oh, that was right. They're in the carbon refiner. So graphene into the carbon refiner. Well, hold on a minute. Isn't that graphene coming through here into the carbon refiner? So can I not just set up another one here? Because that's already stacked up. Would it not make sense to be able to just filter off to here and do another one? That would make sense to me, right? So if we put this here, grab this, create this. Let's go down a little bit. We're a little bit too high at the moment. All right, we're going to put that there. For this one, that works. I'm just going to put that there. For this, we'll connect to here. Really hoping we can connect into this side. I think we're potentially just a little bit far out to do that. It's not going to work. Okay, I think we're going to have to come out to do that. And just head over in that general direction. Let's try that again. There we go. That works. So that one into there. Okay. This is going to be a splitter. We'll do this because we're actually going to split this a couple of ways. This is just the first split. So into here, into here, into here. And this one is going to make advanced filters for us. Fantastic. And then those advanced filters are going to come around here. All the way along to here. And then they're going to nicely tuck into there. Great. Only problem is nothing's coming down. Did we break that or did we just destroy that whole thing? It is coming down. Wow, we destroyed that whole thing. Okay, cool. What we're going to do then while we're waiting... Oof. We'll take all that graphene out of there and we're going to put it into here instead because there's not really much else we can do at the moment. We need some more water. That means we're going to need more fast filters. Fast rotors. So just 4 more fast rotors for us. Again, easy to make these now. We've got all the equipment to do that. We're just going to do that. That's 4. That's done. So now 2 of those. That will be more than enough water. I don't mind making these by hand. We don't need that many and it's actually quite easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this one. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. And then I'm just going to move this one to here. And I need to get rid of that. And get rid of that. And this one just needs to go from here into there. Great. So that one's a bit of a mess. We're going to kind of get rid of that. All right. That's the water setup. It's all working. %. Everything's working there. That's great. They're now pushing into there. So advanced filters are done. And I think that right now we're just going to go ahead and make these. Because the phosphorus is the challenge, right? So if we need catalytic converters, I think we're going to make them. Let's see. Can we make this? We're 39 out of 40, which means that by the time we get over there, we are good to go. Let's head up. Right, it says we need to put this in the hottest region. So we're just going to go and dump this right in the middle. I guess, actually, it needs to be here. If we want to regulate it properly, I think we're going to have to do it from the middle. I just don't know if that is going to reach in terms of power. But that's fine, because we're going to put a new power system in place here. This eventually is going to be a whole nice build for us, because we've got this beautiful center area just over here. So we can build a huge, huge base in here. So, with that being said, we're just going to stop here. And let's put down this, which again is a huge structure. But we'll put it down here. That's going to build. It's going to take a while. It's going to need some power as well. How much power does this need? 600. Okay. Which means we're going to have to build one of these to go with it. Which means we need 10 drills. Which means we're going to have to start with a reinforced living condition. Okay. Well, let's do that. We'll put that just down here, we'll say. We'll jump inside so we're nice and safe. We now need to put one of these. Oh, we can put this on the roof. I didn't know we could put these on the roof. That's even better. Look at that. Cool. We need to make 10 of these. We'll get these drill bits all automated next. And continuing to make progress here. These drill bits are now the last thing we need to automate out of this, apart from these catalytic converters, which is a real challenge because phosphorus comes from this island, but I've got to find phosphorus and graphite to be able to mix them together. And I think that's going to be a bit... we can do it. We can do it. It's just a bit of a connection we're going to have to figure out. So we'll do that later. But for now, this first one's here. We'll put this power down with it, like so. All right. So this is going to give us between 650 and 1200. But because of the region we're in, that should give us 1200. Which is fantastic, because this is taking half of that. All right. Let's eat some food, and then we're going to have to go back, because otherwise we're going to die. We have no other source of food now. So just want to wait. Look at that. That is a app still being built, that, to be fair. I mean, just to give you some context of size here, that is still being built. This one was actually built before it. This one's now working at 1200. Yep. This one. Yep, there we go. Power 100%. Still building, though. Climate regulation 1%. And I believe what we needed, if we go back here, was 5 kilometers squared. All right. Oh, look, that's going up nice and quick now. Still not finished building yet. It's still building. I don't think the drone doesn't go up any. The drone doesn't go up high enough for this, which I think is crazy. So that, to try and get context of the size of that it's insane. Let's head outside and have a look. There we go. That is a large building. Cool. All right, so. Oh, no. Okay, I didn't actually assume for that, so that does work. Okay. Maybe not a good idea to put the bench on top because of the drone issue. All right, so now we just need to wait and let that do its thing. So we're at 1 of 5. Good. And that's at 10%. So I'm assuming we need to get to maybe, what, 50% and it might be okay. We'll have to wait and see. How long does it take to demolish? Not that long. All right, what is next on our list of things to do? So I think we've done everything we need to do here. We're going to come out of this area. I'm pretty sure we're not going to have to build another one of those. I think one in the center is going to be more than enough. We'll come back here later. All right, now we're going to head back past all of this. That gem cutter is the next thing we're going to look to be making. We'll jump back to the main area and then we'll just look at automating those last few little points. In fact, there is one more that we need to do, which we're going to do from down here, that we didn't do. And that is, if I just land here. Cool, so we've got these filters, that's great. Let me just quickly go ahead and put down a base right here for a second. Just to jump into. Alright, so there is one more of these we haven't done yet, and I don't know if we need it or not. But it would be good to have it. We're doing these already. We're doing these. So that's the last one. Okay, cool. What do we need now? Next objectives. Amethyst, we've got to look for gem cutter. So we need a gem cutter. This is at 2 out of 5 now. So that's good. We'll leave that to do its thing. Climate regulated, 2.5. Oh, there we go. So 2.64. So we can see we've got to do 5 kilometers. We're working on that. That's great. Water filtered. Cool. Fertilized regions. We still need to work on more of that. We've got a lot to do, but that's fine. We're getting there. Okay. So next thing on our list of things to do. We've done all of those buildings. We've done all of those. All of that. We haven't done a train yet, but we're not worried about that at this stage. Everything else here is done. We haven't done these yet, but we're not actually that worried. Okay. We're good. So, in terms of building now, if we have a look over at our assembly bench, we could really do with making these drills to automate them, so we haven't got to keep making them. That would be nice. We also are not making these. This is just iron rods and rubber belts. Very easy to do. Find someone with iron, we can do that. Rubber and ceramics. So all we need is quartz, iron, and we can do that. And that is iron and carbon fiber, so we can do that as well. Find some graphite as well, so that's fine. So we can do those. This one, okay, we can sort it out later. This one's a bit of a challenge. We can make them now, but a bit of a challenge. So what was the next building that we wanted to make? We need 2 catalytic converters for this and 4 fast rotors. All right, well, we can do that. 2 catalytics, we can make those. Just making them by hand at the moment. And 4 fast rotors. Yep. We can do that. So that's good. We're then going to have to get into advanced crafting parts and automate this section. So that'll come. But not in this video. Sort our inventory out as well. So yeah, this needs a lot. Okay, so now that we've got this, we're just going to put it down, because if we put it down, it unlocks the diamond drill that we needed. It also unlocks the laser emitter that we needed. And it unlocks the crystal lens. Brilliant. All right, so here is where we can make these 3 items. So this just needs ruby ore. Okay. This needs diamond ore. So we've got to find diamond ore. And this needs diamond ore as well. So we need to find diamonds. So having a look on a map Question is, where are the diamonds? So we need to go back over here, actually. There's something I forgot to do. I need to put a sensor up so I can see around the area. And then that's it. At the moment, that's it. We're almost there at a 4.5. We're just waiting for this to reach 5. You can see that bit in the middle there cooling down. So we're just gonna wait for this to finish. And then that will be terraformation stage 5 complete. Okay. And we've still got one more gap to add something in here, which I think will probably be that last refinery, just to get that last item in, if we need it in the future. We'll just leave that for now. It's a bit messy, but it works. It's clean in terms of the output. This one's a bit weird. I don't think we can get rid of this. It says it's just a rock, so it's definitely not. It's one of those, but I think it's just bugged because we deleted the ground underneath it. That seems like a bug. And there we go. Terraformation stage 5 complete. Large amethyst deposit, which is what we need next. So now it's going to show us where the amethyst is. So if I want to turn all of these off. Huh. Oh, it's not going to show us amethyst until we found it. We need to go and find it first. Okay. Understood. All right, well, that is going to be tomorrow's challenge. Also, let's have a look. What is... Because we now need amethyst to be able to do this. So, planet analyzer. Build one of these in the cold region of the planet, which is where I think we're going to find amethyst, right? So, we need to go and build another one of these now in the cold region to get the uranium and the radiation absorber. All right, so that's how we're going to resolve the radiation. So, this is still regulating the climate, so that's good. So, we'll do this one, this one. Then I think we're going to have to do some others in the other areas as well. There's a lot to this game. There is a lot. But right now, we're good. We're in a good place. Let's go back because we need to go home and get some food. We can also put an area up there to just fertilize that area. That will be another thing that we'll do next. For the purpose of today, though, there's actually a couple of things just to finish off this that I want to do. First one, let's just drop this back here. Come back to this beautiful starter area. We'll put our ship back. Okay, let's make some food. So, we need some food. Just so we've got some, so we'll grab that from there. Grab the first workbench. Make food. Let's do that first. Then, we need to go over to the hot region. And we need to put a radar down to see what's in the area. And then also, I would like to put... I haven't regulated the temperature yet, so I don't think I can put anything else in these areas yet. So I think the problem I'm going to have is if I try and do anything in these areas, I can't do it. Because it won't work. Because I can't get vegetation in while it's too hot. So I need to make sure I do this first. So, right, let's put that climate regulator in the cold region. Okay, that's going to be our next thing. So I want to put a radar over here. I can go and do that right now. I'm just going to make sure I can build one, which I'm pretty sure I can. Yes. Easily. So we'll head over. We'll put the radar down. We'll have a look at what it looks like over here. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened there. That's not good. I'm actually moving and I don't know why. If I get the drone over here, hopefully, if that doesn't cause a problem, I can get back in my ship. But otherwise, I don't actually know how I get back in my ship from here. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I came out. Oh, toxic gases. That's not good. I need to get into my ship, which is just sitting on the water here. Oh, I actually can't. I'm too far out to get into my ship. I've got quite a lot of stuff on me. I don't really want to die. Oh, that's not good. The only thing I can do at this stage, because of where I am and what I'm doing right now, is put down a water pump and wait. That's a little bit unfortunate. Okay. I don't know how that happened. I guess I can try and build a bridge. Maybe that's an option. Let's have a look and see if I can do this. So I've got some cement I've got access to. So if I drag this... Alright, let's see if this works, shall we? If I jump up on here... Okay. No, I don't... What happened to my ship? Not enough cement. I've only got 200 pieces of cement. I don't even need that much, but... I mean, okay. I don't like this, but can I get into my ship, please? Oh, okay, that was really strange. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but thankfully we got out of it. There's a bit of a bug. Bit of a weird situation. Let's have a look. We want to go to the right. That's it, over here. It'd be that easy to die in this game. Gotta be very careful. Alright, now all we're trying to do is put a radar down here. Perfect. So I'm wondering what happens now if I take one of these out. Okay, I'm alright now. And if I take the second one out, still too hot. So I still need one in, which is cool because I'm in the hottest area. And even though I'm in the hottest area, I only need one, which is nice. Alright, let's have a look at this. We're going to put this antenna down. We'll chuck it down just here. Good to have. That's basalt there. We don't need basalt. The radar showing all of these, which is great. What we're looking for, what we can't see though, is just diamond. So no diamonds here. Alright. Let's go and have a look in the cold region and see if we can find our missing items. But we'll do that, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video. So, yeah, this whole area... Hopefully, yeah, look at that, getting cold, getting, oh, in fact, oh, we haven't got any water in the middle there. We're going to have to figure out a way to transfer water over. But we can start the greenhouse and the area fertilizer, and I think we're in a place now where we can start making that green in the middle of that area now. That'll be pretty cool. That'll be a tomorrow job. We'll work on that. For now, we've had a busy day, lots of optimizations, tweaking, sorting things out. A step further on terraformation. And now we know we can just go and repeat that exact same thing tomorrow in the cold region. And then we'll see where that takes us next. We're looking for amethyst. And we're also, at the same time, looking for diamond. If we can find both of those... then we can progress the material analyzer. But apart from that, most of the items that we've got are now automated. Most of the items. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hopefully can make some more progress tomorrow. And again, put some foundations down. That would be a nice thing to do. But otherwise, part of today, let's drop that stuff off because we don't need the gold to be... To be fair, we don't even need the gold anymore. We don't need a lot of this. So, ruby, all of that stuff, it's just not really that valuable to us. I guess we can keep that and that here for now. Everything else, we'll keep the coal as well because we're not making much of that. Organics are always good to keep and that. Otherwise, all of the items here, they can all go. We just don't need them. All right. And now we'll take this. We'll take this and this. We're good. That will keep us nice and cool. Oh, we need to make heating modules, don't we? Yes, of course we do. We need to make 2 heating modules to warm us up when we go into the cold region. So we'll take those with us as well. When equipped, this device allows you to fly, providing fast and agile movement across difficult terrain. 2 ship engines and 1 AI chip. Well, we can make an AI chip right now, because we've got that. And this needs fast rotors. So all we need to do is make 4 fast rotors to make 2 ship engines. And we've got a jetpack. Let's finish the episode with a jetpack. That's a fun thing for us to do. Other items here, these advanced crafting items, we'll automate these at some point. We've also got a bioreactor. Crafting component can be used to craft some advanced parts. That needs filters, sulfuric acid, and phosphorus. So, again, some more complicated things we need to make here. A microscope, which we can make, but we're going to have to do that later. And then we've got a quantum processor, which needs plasma conductors. We haven't got those yet. So, again, some things that we can make. But for now, we're just going to make the jetpack. Stick that in our backpack, and off we go. All right. This is progress. So, all we need to do, press space, press and hold space, and we can fly. It does use our energy up, so we do have to be careful of using our energy up, because once our energy runs out, we'll fall. But we're good. All right. That's as high as we can go, unfortunately. It's not allowing us to go too far, but it does allow us to go up a little bit. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got everything we need. We'll put that in here so we don't die if we go into that region. We'll take these out because we know we're going to go to the hot region next. Good. We've got a standard battery. I kind of feel like I might just make 1 more standard battery while I'm here, just to give me that little bit extra boost when I'm running around and doing stuff, because I've got that extra slot now. Cool. All right. We've got everything we need. We're good to go. These are the items we're going to keep on us. The only other thing we'd need to make is a O2 tank, just so we've got some extra, but apart from that, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.